Hey crafters, it's me Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. And welcome to another Friday. So if you're working your bum off all week, you made it. It's Friday. Woohoo! Let's celebrate that for a minute. And then I'm going to tell you while people are coming in what I'm going to use today. So we're still in our watercolor series. Hi Arrow Mama. Hi Elise B. Hey Penny. Hey Brenda. So I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit of what we're going to use today. We're definitely using Gelatos. That's the medium we're going to watercolor with today. I'm going to have my rinse well right here with some brushes. I have two different bottles, one with alcohol and one with water. Sometimes you can use alcohol to do some of the mixing so that things dry quicker. That's totally up to you. I'll probably use water today. And then of course I've got a bunch of different colored Gelatos, and then I also have creamy crayons, which is basically the exact same thing. But these are metallic. I don't know how well those are going to show up, but they are metallic. So I've got a set of those. And then I'm going to use some clear acrylic blocks, some little mini misters from Ranger. And then I'm also going to use this stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Watercolor Wings. And so we're going to create some backgrounds today and just play around with this and see what kind of watercolor fascinations we can get going on with Gelatos. Now, before I start, I'm going to spray some alcohol on my blocks because some people like their stuff to be like super duper clean. You can tell this one's dingy and it's got black on it. So if you just spray that with alcohol and then wipe it down, it should come pretty darn clean. And that's all I did. And already you can see most of that dirt is gone. So it's super easy to clean them. Even if you get stains on or anything like that on here, it's pretty simple to clean off. I'll do this one too. I don't know if you can see the gunk on this one quite as well. I'll go ahead and just give them a quick clean. So alcohol is your friend when it comes to that. I'll just take off all that extra stuff and they'll look brand new again. Hey Josie, hi Sharon. Linda Carafa, hello everybody. Okay, so one thing that you can do is you can put your Gelatos straight onto paper. It's not my favorite thing because it leaves the gelato behind, but I'm going to start with that. So they're kind of like a creamy thick lipstick and they roll up like a glue stick at school. You just turn the bottom and they go up. And so I'm going to put some straight onto the paper. We're going to see how that looks. So I am using, do they even have their names on here? I don't think they do. Oh, on the top. I'm using green tea, lavender, and blueberry. So here's what my three little scratchy doodads look like. And then we're going to add some water and watch what happens to this. I'm going to use a regular brush and just a little bit of water. And by the way, I'm using 110-pound cardstock. So I'm just going to mix that up really good with water. And then just kind of drag it down. It definitely stays, in that spot. I wanted you to be able to see this so that you didn't just go right ahead and put all of your Gelatos down on your paper and then be sad that it didn't all blend out. It's not going to all blend out if you do that. Watercolor paper, maybe. I don't have watercolor paper right now. We can try that later on if that's something you want to see. But right now all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of water on each spot, rubbing it around on that spot, and then trying to get some of that color to wash out. And it does. It works really well. And it looks really watercolory, and it's very pastel. But you see where we put the color on initially, it's definitely going to stay there. Again, 110-pound cardstock, Nina white, exact index 110-pound white cardstock. That's what this is. And that's what that did. It washed out really pretty. So to get rid of having these on there, let's flip this over and use the other side. You would just go ahead and take your brush, take your gelato, get your brush a little bit wet. Hey, Sandy. Rub your brush on the end of the gelato like this. Get that color moving. You should be able to see a little bit on the end of your brush. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water and then brush it on. Now I can get a nice green color wash. But I don't have that lasting impression of where I drew directly on the paper with that. So I'm going to try to get just a wash going on here. Again, remember that this is just heavy cardstock, so you're not going to want to go over this too many times because you're just going to end up getting it all pilled up. But it works extremely well as a watercolor medium, especially if you want that washed out look. As long as the paper is still wet, you can keep putting your brush on your gelato and adding a little bit more green if it's not quite as dark as you'd hoped it was. If you don't add as much water, of course, it's going to get much darker. So now we've got a whole backwash of that green on the cardstock. And they're just super fun to play with. I do too, and you know what? I don't use them half as much as I should. Looks like I might have to use a little elbow grease to get that gelato off my... If you have a non-stick background, you'll be fine. Mine is a, what do you call that? The Teflon, the stuff that you can put in the oven. That's what mine basically is. So we went from dragging that out and leaving that mark behind to just using one color and putting that along the whole background. So where is my little blue? There it is. I'm going to dry this up a bit. So another way to put these down on paper, if you don't want to put the brush to, which is why I have the blocks out, is that you can rub your gelatos right on your blocks. Let's try that with a little bit of yellow. Same thing as what we did on the paper, except for we won't have that mark left on our paper because we're putting it on the block. Let's use a little bit of red. We got some red down there. So then we're just going to add a little bit of water to that, and then it automatically just kind of melts into that nice wet wash that we can just put across our whole paper here. Very fun, very quick, easy. I'm going to jump from that right into the red. Almost get a pinky mauve from that. I'm going to add a little bit more water so I can get that wash out a little bit more. And then go right into the pink. The lighter the color is, obviously the lighter the wash is going to be. And then you can mix colors that way as well. So there's a couple of colors that we got. Hey, Rosa. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. Do I have to cut the end of this one? I think I do. Okay, I gotta cut the end of this one. Thanks, Barbara. Cool stuff, right? Just really fun. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here, not a lot. The more water you add, of course, the more it gets washed out. So I'm gonna do another thing with the mini misters and the gelatos. You can make your own sprays as well. I'm gonna do, let's start with the dark blue. Now instead of rubbing this on there, we're actually going to roll this up a little bit and cut some of it off. I'm looking for my little guy that I usually have him in here. Where did he roam off to? Huh. Well, that's odd. Where's my little cutter guy? Well, if we have to, we'll use scissors. We can always wash him off. Oh, there he is. I just spotted him right above me. Just above me. Alright, let's go ahead and cut some of this gelato off. Woo! It went to flying. Don't lose your gelato, guys. Go back in a sawing motion back and forth, and then it'll just peel off and stay where it's at. And then we're just going to take these pieces and we're going to plop them into our mini mister. I wouldn't recommend doing this on a larger scale because, as I said, the larger you get, the lighter that color is going to be. But you can experiment, do these smaller ones, mix colors, see what other kind of fun colors you can get. I don't recommend putting mica in these tiny sprayers because I've been told that mica will clog your little sprayer and then you'll be really unhappy. So I don't have a lot in there right now, a lot of water. I'm just going to go ahead and start shaking it up to get that to melt in there. Looks like it's melting. Not too many little pieces left yet. And I'm trying not to shake up and down because I don't want to get bubbles and I don't want to get that shoved up my little straw that goes into the sprayer. So I have it from one side and I'm just making it go around and around. Still getting bubbles because there's not a lot in there. But let me go ahead and add just a little bit more water. See, I got some up in my little straw here. I'm going to go ahead and I might have to dig that out. Where's my pin? Got that shoved way up there. I hope that comes through. I'm going to add a little bit of more water though. Sandy, I wish you lived closer to me so that you could do my videos with me. Alright, let's take our little trial here and spray it on here and see what we get. It's going to take a minute to get it to go up into the sprayer. Super, super light, just like I said. Super duper light. See that? So what I would do, and what I've done in the past, is mix it with alcohol instead of straight water. Because then you could add some to it. So I'm going to just dab this off a little bit and see if I can go dry it up a little bit and then add some more and see if we can make it a little bit darker. We're going to go till about 5:45 tonight because it is sale weekend. So I'm going to stop just a little bit early so that I can get everything situated for the sale that I have tonight, which is patrons only. So if you want to get in on those, then go ahead and do that. Now, we're going to add another perk to patrons. We have, I believe, we haven't talked about this in a long, long time, but the patrons have a perk in the store, which I don't sell a lot of items from, but all of my adhesives are in there, where they get 10% off anything they buy through the store. But we're going to add in a perk to patrons that if they order pre-sale orders that don't have a reduction on them, like right now we're pre-ordering for the glimmer sprays or the shimmer sprays by Dana Reevely, and if you buy the whole bundle of 12 you get 2 free. So instead of spending $48, it's only $40, you get the whole set. If I were to do a pre-order on something like that and I did not offer a discount, if you're a patron you would get 10% off those as well. So tonight after we're done with this, we'll do a patron only sale where they get to see some of the new stuff that I get in. If I don't have new stuff that's come in, then they may get a special deal or some money off or something like that. Alright, let's see if that got a little bit darker, and it did. We're going to do it one more time. Where did I put my little sprayer now? Where did I put my little buddy? Did it fall off? I don't think so. Where did I chuck it? Do you guys see it? Oh, there it is. Off camera. Hiding. You can make it a little bit darker, but not very much. So you get a really nice pastel spray. So there is another idea. That almost looks like speckled eggs, robin eggs. You could probably cut those out in little, ovals or Easter egg, and then use that in a card. That'd be really cute. Let's go ahead and clear off some of this water that I've inundated us with. The next thing I want to try out is using the stamps with it. Doing an actual watercolor. So I'm going to pull out the wings. We're going to use one of the blocks to mix our color, make our watercolor, and then we're going to use the other block to stamp this guy. I might need a little bit bigger of a block here. This one will do. So I'm going to try like maybe a blue and a purple together. And a darker purple. Let's use this one. This one has been used and abused. Let's go ahead and get that one. We want to get a lot of color down here. You can also cut off the color too, like I did for the spray, if you want to get a lot more color in there. But I'm going for, a nice watercolor looking wing, which is what this is actually called, watercolor wings. And I'm going to use my brush to put it on. So I'm going to get some water on that brush. Get my purple going. And I'm going to paint it onto the stamp. Make sure that it stays wet so that we get that watercolor look. And then I'm going to go in the blue, get that activated, and put some blue out here. And these work well together, so if they mix, it's not going to be a problem. So you might want to keep that in mind as well. If yours is getting a little dry, go ahead and just use your spray bottle and spray a little water on there. Hey, Donna. And then we're going to swoosh it down. I'm going to give that just a second for it to seep into the cardstock before I lift it up. And there we go, some really pretty wings. You can dab off that darker color, or you can let it dry natural if you want that look in there. Pretty. So this set actually has a way for you to do the outside of the wings in a different color and the inside, which is really interesting. I didn't think to do that. So let's take, let's see, let's do the body. Let's do the body with the black. We don't need very much, so get rid of that blue. Mix that black up. I don't think we'll get a very dark black, but I'm hoping that we'll get a nice gray so that you can see it. And then we're going to stamp that guy in the middle. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? That's really coming together. There's another smaller one in here too. Oh, there's his little dealy boppers. That's what I'm looking for. We should just have enough left to just do those and add those guys in. Very, very soft. I like that. That's pretty. So you're not going to get super vibrant, dark colors with the gelatos, with the techniques that I'm showing you today. I am too. I totally love butterflies. They're so addicting, aren't they? You know what else is addicting? Are sprays. When you get to using them. Oh my goodness. Awesome sprays. Let's do this one in the middle. Let's see if we can do that. We don't need anything really big. What else can we put in there? Maybe just a little bit more of that really dark blue. Let's see if we can make that darker. Okay, I'm going to mix that blue in again. This time I tried not to add a lot of water because I want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to pat that color on. You see I'm just patting it on. If you can see what you're painting, you could always do another round. Ooh, that turned out pretty good. Look at that. Cute, cute. So you could do this more than 2 colors. You could do this butterfly in multiple colors. It'd be really pretty. And if you want to add flowers and stuff around him, I got some gray on there, some black. You can do a background with your leftover stuff. I'm just going to add a little bit of alcohol to this. And then I'm going to smoosh it underneath here. I'm going to try to move it around. Oop, I got a little bit of black on there. That's okay. Because we can still cut flowers out of that. Barbara Estock. This is Watercolor Wings by Stampin' Up. I am actually using the only set I have, and it's for sale for $21. gorgeous, gorgeous set. I wish I had more than one of them, because they're just fantastic. I'm going to cut out this butterfly. We're going to attempt to make a card with him. Then I'll have to run and get some, I think I might make my own background. We'll do a different background with some yellows and oranges, and we'll cut out some flowers to go with this guy. And so using the smoosh technique with the gelatos, which you can do with markers and paints and inks and anything you've got laying around, we can make really fun backgrounds and then cut our flowers out of those. This is a lot easier to do if your paper is dry, so if you're having a hard time cutting, go ahead and wait until your butterfly is completely dry. Mine's almost 100% dry, so I'm not having any trouble at all, but that's just an FYI. You could even run this through an embossing folder if you want them to have even more texture. Yeah, I'm not liking that so much. That didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped. So I'm going to go ahead and cut another one, cut another base, and we're going to do a smoosh with some yellows and oranges. Right, so we're going to use this one that will cover most of our card. I do have a block that'll cover almost the whole darn thing, but let's just go ahead and try this one. So I'm going to go ahead and add this kind of like I would with my markers. And just because I know this might be a little bit of a hard time to make this blend out and get anything super dark. Happy Friday and sale weekend from Brenda Gentry. She used Super Chat and donated a one-time donation of $4.99. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much. I'm going to add some red in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some alcohol. And the reason why I'm using the alcohol and not the water when I do this is because then it'll dry quicker. But here's the thing. If you put this on there, you're going to get all these little marks. So I'm going to just go ahead and with my brush and make these mix together. At least a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna brush them out a little bit so that I don't get all like one mashed color and that's it. And we'll see what we get. I could have even put more water on there. I'm going to pick it up and just smoosh some more on the background here. Got some interesting looks in there. I want a little bit more yellow. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. Like, I'm just going to add it all over this. Because yellow is really easy to cover up, especially when it's this light. Right, and this time I'm going to use a different brush so I don't blend out my yellow completely. I think I want some more. You know what? I think maybe I just want to put it on there so I know where that yellow is going to be. That's what I wanted. I just wanted some of that yellow in the background because it kind of got all smooshed out. Now I'm going to smoosh and drag just what I put on there. That's cool. Okay, I'm really liking that. I want to clean up this mess. I'm going to give this paper a little dry so we can snap some flowers out of it so we can make our backgrounds, our flowers for our background, and then create a card today together. And the only reason why I really feel like this needs to be dried is because I want my punch to go through it. Punches will not jump through very easily if it's smooshing through wet paper. And if you're looking for this Heat It craft tool, we now have these in store, so let me know if you want one, because we only have a couple. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, make ourselves a card base. Clean up my little guys here. I might even do a background on this of greens, so we've got something to put it on. Let's see how that turns out. And then maybe we'll use one of the Gelatos, the creamy crayons, to get a little bit of glam in there. I'm going to use this one for the flowers. This is a little bit different than what I normally use. I'm going to use this little shape. Thanks, Penny. One. These might not be quite dark enough for my taste. I think you can see now by looking at these why I wanted them a little bit more yellow, and I think I still do want a little bit more yellow than that. But I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of green for the background. So that is spearmint. And this one is green tea. Just mixing these in together. Maybe we'll put in a little bit of blue. Not a lot, just a little here and there. Hey, Diane. I'm misting this with a little bit of water. And I feel like I need to just tap these blues out, because I don't want little zigzags in my paper. And there's a lot of chunks here that I'm going to get rid of them. I'm kind of going around the outside because I don't want a perfect square. Alright, let's see what we get with that. Hopefully it's kind of a nice leafy kind of feel. And I twisted it just a little bit. That's a pretty watercolor background. Try to get those bits of gelato that are in there out of it. Pretty cool. All right, let's just get that a little bit dried here. So anytime you add water to a card, it's going to curl up like that. If you don't like that, go ahead and make yours on a different sheet of paper. I'm just going to go ahead and use the side of my desk to kind of curl it back the way it should be going. And that's going to be good enough for me. That looks good. So now we're going to bring in our little butterfly, and he's going to go on there. There was a little bit of glue down onto his little dealy boppers there. I'm going to make him flying up in this direction so I can get a couple of the flowers on there. And so, if you're looking for these flower curlers and the mats, we have those in too. So that'll be helpful. So they curl up a little bit. And you can put them together too. You don't have to do them singularly. Like you could put one on top of the other and make it a double. I actually really like that better. Let's do that. Let's do two of them together for just a little grouping of about 3 flowers or so. Alright, so a little bit of glue in the middle, and then we could put something in the middle of these flowers too if we wanted. Let's see if we can get them put together first. Just a dot of glue in the middle is all you really need, and then turn it to where you want those petals to be. And then you can put flower centers in them or whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and pop these down. These would look really cute with some little leafy flower sprigs coming off of them. Like I was kind of hoping for a little bit more yellow in the middle of mine. But I do know that I've got some little flower centers. We could probably use these. These little multicolored ones. They're a little tad bit too big for these flowers, but because what's going to happen is they'll smash out the petals a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and put one in each one. So tonight, after this video, we have the patron only sale. So you can see these are way too big. But we're just going to plop them on there for now because that's what I have handy. And then you can flip up the ends if you want them. They have a little dimension. Of course, they'll flatten out when you mail it, but, you know, if you've got a crafty friend that's going to receive it, they'll know to flip that up a little bit if they want a little dimension there. That's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Look at that. And it didn't take us much. Just some gelatos and a little bit of smooshing and spraying. And we got a gorgeous card here. So pretty. And you can, if you're here, see a little bit of that shimmer from this one. We should have put more on of this one so we could have had a little bit more shimmer and shine. Alrighty, so I think this was, what, the third in our series of watercolor? And I still have a couple of things up my sleeve, so we're going to do at least one more. We're going to do at least one more in this series of watercoloring. And the set that we have is 30. Whoa, let me bring this back. Sometimes my wheels get caught up. This is the Sizzix set. And so you get some of the rolling balls to make the flowers. You get an end to do paper quilling if you want to try that. You get a pokey tool. Here are the 3 little balls that you get. You get 2 different mats and you get a pair of scissors. So you get the detail molding mat and you get the molding pad. So it all comes together in one really cool set. Oh, and a reverse tweezer. Almost forgot that. A reverse tweezer comes in there too. So you get a lot of stuff in that little pack. I only have a couple of those, so get your order in if you want one. Alrighty, so next time we're going to do a different idea. And I hope that you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, give me a big thumbs up. Remember that qualitycrafts.com will have links to everything in case you get lost or confused. There's a video on qualitycrafts.com on the Crafty Garage sales that explains our sales. So if you're confused or you're new, definitely check out that video first and sign in so that we have your information so that when you do come to a sale, you can just jump right in and we'll open a bin for you. And then we don't have to wait and bug you and holler at you because we need your information. So we are US and PayPal only when we do sales, and the next one is tomorrow. Unless you're a patron, in that case, you're going to join me in the private patron group, and we're going to do our sale tonight for an hour. But you're welcome to come to the public one tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're always fun. It's, the group that we're in, the community group, is drama-free and commitment-free. So if you want to know about these things and what's going on and that kind of thing, sign up on qualitycrafts.com for emails, and definitely join our community, our Quality Crafts community group on Facebook, because there's no commitment and there's no drama, and it's a really fun way to get information and inspiration and do fun things and feel connected to our community. So we hope that you will do that, and I can't wait to see you guys next video.